very warm morning to everyone present out here.
Today brings a new chance to learn, grow, and make good choices. Let's start the day with gratitude for those around us and for the knowledge we can gain. Together, we can create a day full of success and happiness.
Today, we have gathered here to explore a fascinating topic, the physical features of India. Physical features of India are extremely diverse, ranging from towering Himalayas in the north to the arid desert in the west. Fertile plains and long coastlines showcasing a wide array of landforms and ecosystems.
As we embark on our journey to explore and appreciate unique geographical diversity of our country, we would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to our respectable and honorable MD Sir for giving us this opportunity.
We deeply appreciate the efforts of our MD Sir in ensuring that each morning assembly becomes a source of learning and inspiration. Today's topic is a perfect example of that.
Your vision continues to enlighten and motivate us every day, sir.
Let us now begin this journey to explore physical feature of India by celebrating India's natural beauty, which makes our country truly unique and incredible. Now please welcome Pariti and Pavit of our class for a short prayer.
So I request you all to stand up, join your hands, close your eyes and get ready for a short prayer. Where the mind is without fear. And the head is held high. Where the knowledge is free. Where the world has not been broken up into fragments. By narrow domestic walls. Where the words come out from the depth of truth. Where the mind is led forward by thee. Into ever-widening thought and action. Into that heaven of freedom, my Father. Let my country awake.
Let's take a moment to reflect on today's thought of the day, which gives us something meaningful to think about. Rachit of our class is coming for thought of the day.
The thought of the day is India's physical features remind us that true strength lies in diversity. From the highest mountains to the deepest seas, every landform has its own unique beauty and purpose. I repeat my thought, India's physical features remind us that true strength lies in diversity. From the highest mountains to the deepest seas, every landform has its own unique beauty and purpose. Thank you.
Today we are delighted to present a mesmerizing classical dance performance by the talented students of class 9I. Classical dance, with its rich heritage and expressive storytelling, is a beautiful blend of rhythm, grace and devotion.
As they take the stage, let us immerse ourselves in the elegance of every movement, the power of tradition and the joy of expression. So sit back and enjoy this enchanting performance that pays tribute to a vibrant cultural legacy.
north to the serene coastal plains in the south, India's landscape is truly unique. The vast Indo-Gangetic plains from the heart of the country, providing fertile soil and sustaining millions. To the west, we have the arid Thar Desert, while the eastern regions boast lush forests and rich biodiversity. The Deccan Plateau, stretching across central and southern India, adds to the country's geological richness. Bounded by the Arabian Sea, the Bay of Bengal, and the Indian Ocean, India's physical features not only shape its climate and resources, but also reflect its cultural and historical diversity. Now let's welcome a few students of our class to present a skit on physical features of India. Today, students of class 9I are going to present a skit in front of you with title My Amazing Indian Adventure. This showcase teacher who is enthusiastic and knowledgeable about India and few children Rudrakshi, Pranya, Raghav, Purab and Pulkit. The scene opens with a few children chatting excitedly as they wait for the teacher to begin the lesson and are discussing their summer vacation plans. The travel bus begins. The classroom is decorated with a world map, a spinning globe and a vibrant map of India. Students enter the classroom.
Good morning, Pulkit. Good morning, Purab. Good morning, Rudrakshi.
Good morning, Raghav.
You seem very happy. What's the reason behind your excitement?
Oh my God, Raghav, can you believe that we are going to Paris and I have also started packing my bag too. Look, I got this red beret. Paris, here I come.
That's so cool, Rudrakshi. I'm counting the days until we land to New York. I can't wait to see the Statue of Liberty with my cousins.
What about you, Purab? Where are you off to the summer vacations?
I'm off to Kenya. Lions, giraffe, here I come.
What about you, Pulkit? Where are you off to this summer? Greece, Australia or somewhere else?
Nowhere. I'm just staying here.
Why, I remember you told me about your plans to visit Australia a few days back.
Yeah, well, my visa got rejected at the last minute. Something about the processing time and the cutoff date. So it's looked like I'll be spending my summer right here in India.
Oh, that's too bad. Don't you have any exciting plans?
No, not yet.
Teacher enters the classroom with a warm smile on her face.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning,
Morning, ma'am.
Please take your seats. It sounds like summer vacation plans are in full swing. Rudrakshi, Paris sounds wonderful. Raghav, New York is an amazing city. Where are you going, Purab?
My family is looking forward to explore wildlife in Kenya.
Oh, that's a great plan. Pulkit, you seem a little quiet. Is everything alright?
Yes, ma'am. It's just everyone else is going to such international exciting places and I'm just staying right here in India. It's a bit boring.
Teacher Paridi walking towards Pulkit with a reassuring smile.
What did you say? Staying in India is boring? You could be more wrong. India is an incredible land filled with adventures and beauty that rivals any international destination. In fact, today's lesson is all about the magnificent physical features of our own country, which offers experiences just as, if not more, breathtaking. Let me take you on a magical journey right here in our own India. From peaks of mountains to desert sand, India's beauty is truly grand.
Scene 2. The magical journey about India begins. Teacher gestures towards a map of India.
Let's start with the Himalayan mountains, our majestic northern border. These are the highest mountain ranges in the world, a crown upon a nation. Think of the snow-capped peaks, the challenging tracks, or the breathtaking views. Within these ranges lie the Mahabharat ranges, and nestled in these hills are beautiful hill stations like Shimla and Darjeeling. Children, have you ever been to Shimla or Darjeeling?
Yes, ma'am.
So you must have experienced that in the hills, the clouds descend low and the air is rich in pine-like skin. You can also experience amazing adventures such as river rafting or trek in mountains.
Scene 3. The fertile north. Teacher moves to another part of the map.
South of the Himalayas lie the vast northern plains and fertile lands fed by mighty rivers like Indus, Ganga and Brahmaputra along with their tributaries. While they might not have towering mountains, these plains are the heartland of our agriculture and culture. Dotted with ancient cities and vibrant communities. Yes, why not? The northern plain is made up of alluvial soil. These plains have rich soil cover combined with adequate water supply and thus provides favorable climate for agriculture. Therefore, these plains are highly fertile.
Miss, my uncle is a farmer and he told me that the 5 rivers flowing through the Punjab, which makes it fertile.
Yes, Raghav, you are absolutely right. The western part of the northern plain is referred to as the Punjab plain, which is formed by the Indus and its tributary. The larger part of this plain lies in Pakistan. The Indus and its tributaries, Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Byas and Satluj, originate in Himalayas and flows through Punjab plains.
Ma'am, it means that these lines are absolutely correct for Punjab plain.
Which lines?
River by river, soil so fine, makes our crop grow strong as a pine.
Yes, you are absolutely right.
Scene 4. The majestic plateau and desert. Teacher points to a large triangular region on the map.
Ma'am, yesterday my father told me about the Peninsular Plateau and the Deccan Plateau, but I didn't understand it properly. Can you please explain me about them?
Yes, sure, why not? This large triangular region is the Peninsular Plateau. It is situated in the south of the Indo-Gangetic Plains. This large triangular region is ancient and rugged landmass which is rich in minerals and home to diverse ecosystem. Think of the Deccan Plateau with its unique rock formations or the Chota Nagpur Plateau with its tribal culture and dense forest. You could explore ancient forts or witness unique wildlife.
Teacher moves to the western part of India.
Ma'am, can you please explain me about the Thar Desert as my parents are planning to visit Thar Desert in the upcoming winter vacations?
Thar Desert is a good choice. You should surely visit Thar Desert. It lies in the western part of the country. While it might seem barren, but it has a stark beauty and a unique charm. Imagine riding a camel under the sand dunes, under the starlit sky, or experiencing the vibrant culture of Rajasthan. Children, have you ever been to Jodhpur or Jaisalmer?
No, ma'am, you're dead.
So you can plan to visit there in your upcoming vacations.
You are absolutely correct, miss. I was upset because our Australian plan got cancelled and parents were thinking to visit relatives in Jaisalmer. But now I think it will be very exciting to visit our Thar Desert in our upcoming vacations.
Ma'am, so it means there are no rivers flowing through Rajasthan?
See, Rajasthan is a dry region and it receives very low rainfall every year. It has arid climate and low vegetation cover. Streams appear only in the rainy season and soon after disappear into the sand as they do not have enough water to reach the sea. Luni is the only large river in Rajasthan.
Teacher then points to the edges of the peninsula.
Flanking the peninsula and the coastal plains, both along the Arabian Sea and the Bay of Bengal. Think of the golden beaches of Goa, the backwaters of Kerala, or the bustling ports along the eastern coast. You could try exciting water sports or simply relax by the sea.
Scene 5. The islands of India. Finally, teacher points to the islands in the Arabian Sea and the Bay of Bengal.
Miss, please explain us about the islands of India.
Yes, sure. No one can forget the beautiful islands of India. The Lakshadweep Islands with their coral reefs and turquoise waters and Andaman and Nicobar Islands with their pristine beaches and lush rainforest. Imagine snorkeling in vibrant coral gardens or exploring exotic flora and fauna.
Scene 6. Finally, the awakening scene. Teacher looks at Pulkit, who is now listening with interest.
Pulkit, you see, India is not just here. It's a land of incredible diversity which offers a variety of destinations with different physical features. You might not be going to Kenya or Paris, but you have a whole world of wonders right here in your own country waiting to be explored.
Ma'am, I never thought about India like that.
Do you still think you are just staying in India?
Not anymore. I'm staying in incredible India.
The other students also nodded agreement, sharing their own experience of traveling within India.
Honestly, ma'am, I want to plan a trip to Kerala now.
Miss, I will surely visit Punjab with my uncle.
That's the spirit, children. Adventure isn't about where you go, it is about how you see it. From every mountain to every shore.
From every mountain to every shore.
India's beauty we can't ignore.
India's beauty we can't ignore.
This summer we will explore with pride.
This
summer we'll explore with pride.
India's wonders far and wide.
India's wonder far and wide.
India is not just a country, it's a world in itself, where every turn tells a new story and every place is a new adventure. Truly, some of the most unforgettable journeys begin right here, within the heart of incredible India. Thank you.
India's beauty is multi-faced and extends far beyond just its physical features. While the country is blessed with stunning natural landscapes like majestic mountains, lush forests, and serene beaches, its beauty encompasses much more than that.
India has a land under a variety of relief features, namely mountains, plateau, plains, and islands. 43% land is state provides facilities for agriculture and industry. 30% mountainous land provides facilities for tourism and ecological aspects. 27% possesses of rich reserves of mineral, fossil fuels and forests.
Let us explore this topic further by a group discussion.
Pavit, can you please explain in how many divisions India's landscape can be divided?
India's landscape can be broadly divided into 6 major physical divisions: the Himalayan mountains, the northern plains, the peninsular plateau, the Indian desert, the coastals and the islands.
Palak, how was Indian subcontinent formed?
The Indian subcontinent was formed through a long process of continental rift and tectonic plate movement. Initially, it was a part of a supercontinent Gondwana, which began to break apart about 200 million years ago. The Indian plate, a large piece of Earth's crust, then moved northward, drifting away from Africa and Australia. This northward rift eventually led to a collision with the Eurasian plate, resulting in the upliftment of the Himalayas.
Payal and Pratik, can you please explain about the northern mountains of India?
An arc of mountains consisting of the Himalayas, the Hindu Kush and Patkai range define the northern frontiers of the Indian subcontinent. These were formed by the ongoing tectonic plates collision of the Indian and Eurasian plate.
The mountains in these ranges include some of the world's tallest mountains, which act as a barrier to cold polar wind. They also facilitate the monsoon winds, which in turn influence the climate in India. Rivers originating these mountains flow through the fertile Indo-Gangetic plains.
Pratik, can you please explain about the Himalayas?
Himalaya is a mountain range in Asia, separating the plains of Indian subcontinent from the Tibetan plateau. This range is some of Earth's highest peaks, including the Mount Everest. More than 1,000 peaks exceeding elevation of 7,200 meters above sea level lie in Himalayas.
Panchpreet, can you please explain how Himalayas can be divided?
Himalayas can be divided both longitudinally north to south and latitudinally west to east. Longitudinally they are divided into Punjab Himalayas, Kumaon Himalayas, Nepal Himalayas and Assam Himalayas. Latitudinally they are divided into Greater Himalaya or Himadri, Lesser Himalaya or Himachal, Outer Himalaya or Shivaliks.
Rachit, can you please tell the role of Himalayas in deciding weather of India?
The Himalayas in India extend from Ladakh in the north to the state of Arunachal Pradesh in the east. Several Himalayan peaks in India rise above 7,000 meters, including Kanchenjunga on Nepal-Sikkim border and Nanda Devi in Garhwal Himalayas of Uttarakhand. The snow line ranges between 6,000 meters in Sikkim to 3,000 meters in Ladakh. The Himalayas act as a barrier to the frigid katabatic winds flowing down from Central Asia. Thus, northern India is kept warm or mildly cooled in winters. In summers, the same phenomena makes India relatively hot.
Jia, please explain about Purvanchal.
Purvanchal is situated near India's eastern border with Burma. It was created by the same tectonic processes which led to the formation of the Himalayas. The physical feature of eastern mountain are conical peaks, steep slopes and deep valleys.
Palak, can you please explain about Karakoram range which defines western border of India with Pakistan?
The Karakoram range runs through Ladakh. The range is about 500 kilometers in length and the most heavily glaciated part of the world outside of the polar regions. The Siachen Glacier at 76 kilometers ranks as the world's second longest glacier outside the polar regions. The southern boundary of the Karakoram is formed by Indus and Shyok rivers, which separates the range from the northwestern end of the Himalaya.
Pranya, please explain about Peninsular Plateau.
The Peninsular Plateau, also known as the Deccan Plateau, is a vast angular plateau that forms the core of the Indian peninsula. It's a stable Asian landmass composed of hard crystalline rocks, making it a unique feature of India's geography. The plateau is bordered by the Western Ghats and the Eastern Ghats and extends from the Aravalli Range in the west to the Chota Nagpur Plateau in the east.
Nitya, please tell about the oldest mountain range of India.
Aravalli Range is the oldest mountain range in India, running across Rajasthan from northeast to southwest direction, extending approximately 800 kilometers. The northern end of this range continues as isolated hills and rocky ridges into Haryana, ending near Delhi. The highest peak of this range is Guru Shikhar at Mount Abu.
Ronakrit and Janvi, please explain about the Vindhya Range. Vindhya Range lies north of Satpura Range and east of Aravalli Range, runs across central-most India, extending 1050 km. The average elevation of these hills is from 300 to 600 meter. They have been formed by the sediments created by the weathering of ancient Aravalli mountains.
Geologically, it separates northern India from southern India. The western end of the Vindhya Range lies in eastern Gujarat near the border with Madhya Pradesh.
Rubal, please explain Malwa Plateau.
Malwa Plateau is spread across Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and Gujarat. The average elevation of Malwa Plateau is 500 meters and the landscape generally slopes towards the north. Most of the region is drained by Chambal River and its tributaries. The western part is drained by upper reaches of Mahi River.
Saket, please explain about Chota Nagpur Plateau.
Chota Nagpur Plateau was situated in eastern India, covering much of Jharkhand and adjacent parts of Odisha, Bihar and Chhattisgarh. Its total area is approximately 65,000 km and is made up of three smaller plateaus, the Ranchi, Hazaribagh and Kodara. The Ranchi is the largest with an average elevation of 700 meters.
Raghav, please explain Indo-Gangetic Plains.
Indo-Gangetic Plains, also known as the Great Northern Plains, are large alluvial plains dominated by three main rivers, the Indus, the Ganga and the Brahmaputra. They run parallel to the Himalayas from Jammu and Kashmir in the west to Assam in the east. They drain most of the northern and eastern India and extend into Pakistan. The plains encompass an area of 7 lakh square kilometers. The major rivers in this region are the Indus, the Ganga and the Brahmaputra, and their main tributaries are Yamuna, Chambal, Kosi, etc., as well as the rivers of Ganga Delta such as Meghna.
Ridhima, please explain Eastern Coastal Plains.
The Eastern Coastal Plain is a wide stretch of land lying between the Eastern Ghats and the oceanic boundaries of India. It stretches from Tamil Nadu in the south to the West Bengal in the east. The Mahanadi, Godavari, Kaveri and Krishna River drain these plains. The temperature of this region often exceeds 30 degrees Celsius and is coupled with high levels of humidity.
Prakshit, please explain Western Coastal Plains.
The Western Coastal Plain is a narrow strip of land sandwiched between Western Ghats and Arabian Sea, ranging from 50 to 100 kilometers and 31 to 62 miles. It extends from Gujarat in north and extends through Maharashtra, Goa, Karnataka and Kerala.
Priyan, please explain about the islands of India.
One of the most important physical features of India is its islands. India has two major groups of islands, Andaman and Nicobar Islands in the Bay of Bengal and Lakshadweep Islands in the Arabian Sea.
Prabjot, please explain about Andaman and Nicobar Islands.
The Andaman and Nicobar Islands are larger in size and more in number. They are of volcanic origin and one of them, Barren Islands, is the only active volcano in India. The Andaman and Nicobar Islands is a union territory comprising 572 islands, of which only 38 are inhabited. They are grouped into two main clusters, the Northern Andaman Island and the Southern Nicobar Island, separated by a 150-kilometer wide channel. The largest and capital city of territory is Port Blair.
Paridi, please explain Lakshadweep Island.
Lakshadweep Islands are made of coral and are much smaller. They are known for their beautiful lagoons and biodiversity. These islands are important to India not only because of their beauty and tourism potential but also for their strategic location and contribution to marine biodiversity. The islands have a total area of 32 square kilometers. The capital is Kavaratti and it is also the principal town of UT. All islands are 220 to 440 kilometers away from the coastal city of Kochi in Kerala in the Emerald Arabian Sea.
Physical features of India are a testament to its vast geographical diversity.
From the majestic Himalayas in the north to the scenic coastlines of the Arabian Sea and Bay of Bengal in the south, the country's landmass is dotted with varied ecosystems. The fertile Indo-Gangetic Plains, the volcanic Deccan Plateau, and the beautiful islands of Lakshadweep and Andaman and Nicobar showcase India's incredible natural beauty. These physical features not only shape the country's climate and culture, but also support its rich biodiversity, making India a unique and fascinating land. Thank you.
Music, once submitted to your soul, become a sort of spirit and never dies.
Music is the language of our soul, and Hindi songs have a special way of touching our hearts. Now let's awaken ourselves with an Hindi song.
वतन वतन मेरे आबाद रहे तू, ऐ वतन वतन मेरे आबाद रहे तू, ऐ वतन वतन मेरे आबाद रहे तू, मैं जहाँ रहूँ जहाँ में याद रहे तू, मैं जहाँ रहूँ जहाँ में याद रहे तू, ऐ वतन मेरे वतन, ऐ वतन मेरे वतन। तू ही मेरी मंजिल है पहचान तुझी से, तू ही मेरी मंजिल है पहचान तुझी से, पहुँचूं मैं जहाँ भी मेरी बुनियाद रहे तू, पहुँचूं मैं जहाँ भी मेरी बुनियाद रहे तू, ऐ वतन मेरे वतन, ऐ वतन मेरे वतन। तुझ पे कोई गम की आँच आने नहीं दूँ, तुझ पे कोई गम की आँच आने नहीं दूँ, कुर्बान मेरी जान तुझ पे शाद रहे तू, कुर्बान मेरी जान तुझ पे शाद रहे तू, ऐ वतन वतन मेरे आबाद रहे तू, मैं जहाँ रहूँ जहाँ में याद रहे तू, ऐ वतन मेरे वतन, ऐ वतन मेरे वतन।
A poem is very image of life, expressed in its internal truth and poetry.
When emotion find words and words find rhythm.
Now we have a delightful English poem being presented by talented students of class 9th I.
Through this poem, they will take us on a journey of imagination, expression, and emotions.
So let's welcome them with a big round of applause.
India is a land so wide with nature's treasure deep inside. Mountains, rivers, soil and trees, flowing winds and buzzing bees.
Mountains have its snowy tips, bring us rain in little sips. They guard our land with mighty grace and bring the rivers a starting place.
Forest green with every hue give us air that's fresh and true. With wood, herbs and fruits that fall, they help both big and small.
Minerals hiding in the land are done with care by human hand. Iron, coal and copper bright build our cities full of light.
Let's use this gift with gentle care and always try to do our share. For India's wealth is not just gold, it's nature's wonder strong and bold. Thank you.
Poetry is not just about rhyming words, it's about expressing deep thought in simplest way. It makes us feel, reflect, and sometimes even dreams.
Today, we are going to dive in the beautiful world of Hindi poetry, a world full of emotion, imagination, and inspiration.
भारत है रंगों की बगिया, खुशबू से महकता उपवन, हर कोना करे इसकी बात, जैसे हो खुद में एक जीवन। भारत है रंगों की बगिया, खुशबू से महकता उपवन, हर कोना करे इसकी बात, जैसे हो खुद में एक जीवन। पर्वत सागर मैदान प्यारे, हर मौसम के रंग है न्यारे। पर्वत सागर मैदान प्यारे, हर मौसम के रंग है न्यारे।
हिमालय की ऊंचाई बोले गौरव का एहसास दिलाए, हिमालय की ऊंचाई बोले गौरव का एहसास दिलाए। गंगा यमुना की निर्मल धारा पवित्र प्रेम का गीत सुनाए, गंगा यमुना की निर्मल धारा पवित्र प्रेम का गीत सुनाए।
रेगिस्तान की रेत सुनहरी, कहानी वीरों की दोहराए, रेगिस्तान की रेत सुनहरी, कहानी वीरों की दोहराए।
केरल के तट कश्मीर की घाटी स्वर्ग की छवि को दिखलाई। केरल के तट कश्मीर की घाटी स्वर्ग की छवि को दिखलाई।
सांस्कृतिक रंग, वेशभूषा हर राज्य में अलग अनोखा, भाषाएं हो या रीत रिवाज, हर परंपरा बने परवास। भारत की सुंदरता निराली, जैसे धरती पर कोई लाली, जिसने इसे दिल से देखा उसने इसमें खुदा को देखा। Thank you.
Of the souls, it speaks where the words fall short.
Today, we bring to you a movement of melody, a breath of rhythm, and a wave of harmony, all woven together without uttering a single word. Presenting before you a soulful instrumental performance by Pavit of our class.
Let the tunes lift your spirits, calm your thoughts, and set the perfect tone for a joyful day ahead.
Today, we bring you to a splash of rhythm, energy, and expression, a performance where words take a backseat and dance takes the lead.
Dance is the hidden language of the soul. It's not just about steps, it's about telling a story, expressing an emotion, and connecting hearts.
So get ready to witness a symphony of moves as a grade 9 student set the stage on fire with their graceful yet powerful group dance performance.
With every beat, feel the joy. With every move, feel the story unfold. Let's cheer for the vibrant energy of our young performers.